Okay, and I'm back again to stream some more Endwalker Story. Last time we left off, we gathered some ceruleum and then told that they were going into Magitech armor, and Alize and Alphino were taken away. So, keep that rolling. So, again, Julius has been entrusted with an unenviable task. Will accompany me back to the camp, where I will meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. That task falls to Legionnaires Marcellinus and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask Eel for further details in those words. If you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. And here we go. So I think that might actually be... you again. Ask the eel, he said. So that's to be the way of it after all of this. How ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. Menacing music much? Oh, it's good. It's pretty good, actually. Hey, Shadow, how's it going? It surprised me a little bit. There's a few things on this map, in particular, that are looking really good. So it's supposed to amp up a lot more. I'm only really early in this story, so how ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. Those are my orders, then so be it, for the glory of Garlemald. So, this game has a lot of, I guess, text story, so I'm going to commentate what I can to kind of fill in the gaps, so... okay. Sure that that is above ground now. Yeah, I'm just trying to kick through this story. They're doing the 6.1 patch soon, and I really need to get through this. It's been out for a few months now, so what have you been up to? Yep, down. Still be down. It is still down. Okay. Wait, no, that's it. Down. It's down. I'm missing something. Got confused last night going into this map, let alone forgetting the above ground and underground. What do you want with me? Ask the eel. So Lord Quintus has reached a decision. Knew he would understand, that he would recognize the savage is a ruthless, merciless creature, and to defeat him, we too must be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of the Emperor Varus, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. Now we get to go upstairs. I'll be able to do a couple of hours of this. Be done as instructed. Alright, their duties involve more than the transportation of supplies, don't they? Or what do you mean? Alright. Duty is rarely a simple thing. We have been given the additional orders, though whether we will be required to follow them depends entirely on your contingent. You and I are in this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate. There is one other matter, a place I'd like to visit along the way to your camp. Short walk from here, follow me. Is it dungeon? We're not just probably a sad, burnt out little place. Julius lingers by the ruin, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Wait here.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was, until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
Why, I, mate, I kill gods.
It's no use. Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do. So cold. Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varus at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varus and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics, to see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
The prisoners are Alphino and Alizé, the two other characters that we're talking.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alizé.
The scouts have secured Alizé and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop, both of you!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
What are you gonna do?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Oh. And of course, that's not good.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Couldn't cope. That was actually really intense. I did not expect it to end that way. But as soon as I saw the gun on the table, I pretty much knew exactly what was going to happen. Pretty iconic way of going out. Much and more has occurred since we last met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. I don't think that's going to happen. The immediate crisis averted, Lucia seeks to gain a clearer understanding of the present situation. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and its position of their forces. We're preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry. A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic, but perhaps they will be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Julius back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphino, Alize, and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. We'll also have our other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Stood. Right. Back to the station. Not too far away from this station. Across the map. Okay, we've started to get some quest markers up here as well, so there might be one or two in the area for side quests. Okay, so they're mostly just ordinary side quests. Nothing there that gives me any ether currents or anything. That might come up a little bit later after we clear more of this area. Bit of a long trek across the map until we can unlock flying. There'll be a couple of things to do before then. I haven't actually unlocked flying in any of these zones yet, so well, it's actually going to knock me out. Let's maybe back off a little bit. I don't think I'll end up streaming the entirety of the campaign play because it's about 80 hours. Try to get in a good chunk. Just really taking the opportunities where I can to actually get some time in. Have a couple of hours here or there for streaming in. Plan after doing the Endwalker STORY stuff to go back to my other character, which is actually on Zervan, which is one of the new oceanic servers for Australia. It has my other character on there, which is only just out of the original base game content. I'll actually be streaming a lot more of the old story as well. Friends to play with that are at endgame in that one too. So it used to be on the Japanese server, but it's just way too good of an opportunity to move to a oceanic region. Endgame content. Nearly there. Alright, time for some bad news. You and Julius. You arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? Lord Quintus, he took his own life. What? After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, No, no, he wouldn't. Tancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. Released us from our duty. Wanted us to be free, free to choose our own fate. Join us. Without him to guide us, where? I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die. Most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. Want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over to them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach their camp safely. He doesn't really know what to say, does he? Okay. Might be due to actually move out of this area. Means I might be able to get some side quests. Only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think that we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. There's a chance I might see them again. I'll take it. So take me with you, please. To convince everyone to go. Well, got the Aetheryte sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is also functioning as normal. That's where you'll let us staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more of use for me and my skills over at your camp. Let's sync up to the... Oh. Starting to see a few little quests pop up. Ah, it's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. Heh. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Bloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning. Until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'll be glad to accept it. Much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Yes, they are. Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first to secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. All the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect that we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain. Courtesy of our Leminson friends. I'd save it for the tempered though. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Okay. We have a few points to go to. Just check out the rest of this map here first. Oh, I could probably use a little bit of mending. Repair everything. It's about halfway. Worn down. That's about it. There we go. This is probably what I want. Yep, Aether Current. A woman with startling blue hair is in search of her son who has disappeared without a trace. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a little boy with hair similar shade to mine? He's my son, and I can't find him anywhere. It all started when I told him he ought to seek refuge in your encampment, and he started wailing and sobbing like I'd never seen. Next thing I knew, he was running hell for leather, God goodness knows where. I'm worried he may have left the station altogether, and the streets above are rife with danger. Please, could you find him for me? Oh, you will? Bless your heart. If I know my son, he's probably tried to return to our house to the north of Platinum Novum. There first, before anywhere, he'll be easy to recognize, I should think, what with the color of his hair and all. So that one is a little bit more to the north. So no more Aether Currents in the area. So hopefully it's just this one mission and I can fly. Okay, so we're looking for a blue-haired child. Another blocked street? Who are you? Mother sent you. Tell her I won't go to the enemy's camp. I'm going home. Get back here. The boy with the sky blue hair has made good his escape. You'd best resume your search for his obstrupu. Okay. Alright, well, here we go. I bet he's gonna get attacked. Stop following me. Once again, the boy with the sky blue hair has taken flight and will likely be looking over his shoulder for signs of trouble from now on. With a weary sigh, you resume the hunt. Alright, follow the boy safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you get noticed. Alright, so he's already looking in my direction. Okay. There we go. No, not quick enough. let's get rid of this guy first. I knew it. They always try to be tricky with these things. All right. Alright, this should hopefully be the last time. Should be able to hide this side completely now. Just have to back up around here. Is there enemies in the way? It's too far away. Alright, surely that is done. Burnt out house should be one of these. Yo, our home. I was here. I was here, right here. You again. Leave me alone. I'm staying here to build a new house. A better one than the old one. Child has escaped your grasp yet again, though this may be construed as a particularly tiresome endeavor. Remember that he's only a child and knows no better. You should find him before he comes to harm. Okay, so what's next? So it's just here somewhere. And now he's been attacked. He'll come to his senses. He can't spend his time out here by himself. Just have to find a new home. Why do you care so much? We're enemies, remember? Why are you trying to help me? Help, I don't care what you say. We don't need your help. But Mother's worried I should go back to the station. Pretty close. There's not much there to unlock, is there? So a little bit. I can probably I could clear that map area, but maybe I'll just fly over soon. Get flying unlocked. Chocobo keeps right there. I was wondering when I would see you again. I'm happy to report my son has returned. Poor creature. You should have seen him, tears pouring down his little cheeks, crying his apologies to me. I know that you were the one who found him, though he didn't mention a word of it to me. I almost couldn't believe my ears when he said he wouldn't mind moving to your camp. He was dead against her only hours ago. What could have happened, I wonder. What? He was attacked? By that horrid Magitech? You say? Goodness, that must have been quite a shock for my little man. Thank you for coming to his rescue. There is a salutary lesson to be gained from all of this, though one that I hope he retains. Not scorn a proffered hand when one is in need, whether that hand be a friend or foe. At any rate, I thank you for finding him. Not much, but please, I insist. And money. Near the current. Bring it to the winds. So, one of the other Aether Current missions are just going to be back here. And back to the other camp. Heading back that way anyway, so I might as well do these objectives. It's gone a little flat. What's going on here? Wait. Okay. There's just a little bit of a delay. Oh. He's tempered. Okay. Pretty sure I've got an item for treating the tempered. Get that down there for now. Be able to use stop attacking the guy for starters. You have to do it after he kind of calms down a little bit. There we go. Okay, cool. Now I think I can use it. Go. Okay, that's the last one. Back to the camp. There you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The Tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies have them in custody. That taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information about our recent scouting forays, but I'll save you that for later. First things first and all that. Alright, before we complete that other objective, I'm going to do this blue quest. for another 8th current. Quest sync. Okay. Reminor would like your opinion on something. Just who I was looking for. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Riminal of Ishgard. I've been put in charge of our arrangement with Tapper's Den, you see. However, the very first of the Tappers come bearing Ceruleum has asked quite a lot of us, if I do say so. They wish for our help in getting Juturna Platform G up and running. The very same platform that is up ahead of the Imperial's primary energy pipeline. What's more, he's a Garlean. I was convinced the only engineers left in Tapper's Den were from conquered territories. In any case, I'm not qualified to judge for the motives of the man. I'd feel much more at ease if someone had of your experience helping to make the call. I thank you for your willingness to assist. Let us go and speak of the tablet in question. Then he's a man by the name of Aplus, or Appius? Suppose you must be the friend Rimino wanted to fetch. May have my thanks for getting him to agree to this proposal. Do not misunderstand, I have yet to agree to any such thing. I merely wanted someone else present during our talk. Very well, though I do believe my profit deal would be a boon to us and Islabard contingent alike. I used to work on Juturna Platform G, you see, so I know more than most about the facility and its operation. That may be so, but your relationship to the facility notwithstanding, why should a Garlean such as yourself be taking refuge in Tapper's Den? We've been led to believe that the former workers residing there were from other territories. Right on the technicality, I was a supervisor rather than your typical staff. When the platform went down, it only seemed right that I stay with my crew. I always thought we were close, but living alongside them in Tapper's Den has made me realize that I took them and their skills for granted, and it's to say nothing of the blind eye that I turned of their struggles. That's why I came to you. It's high time to become some real use to them and everyone else if we're lucky. If we manage to get the platform back in working order, it'll dramatically increase the capacity to pump and refine ceruleum for everyone in the region. Sadly, we're more than a few hands short of the full workforce, not to mention the lack of supplies. It's precisely where you come in. Help us get things up and running again and you'll have your share in the ceruleum coming out of the rig. You shouldn't come up with a more mutually beneficial arrangement if you tried. So he says, what do you think? He seems trustworthy. I reckon we can trust him. Let's just see. Yes, I've been leaning the same way myself, ultimately. What he says about the potential benefits is true, nevertheless, I doubt the higher-ups would assent to this. I suppose that is how it goes when you're dealing with military types. For what it's worth, I do understand hesitancy to throw your lot in with someone from a hostile nation. Thus, part 2 of my proposal, I shall do you a service to prove myself worthy of the contingent's trust. I had a look around the fringes of your camp before you arrived, and I've spotted a few ceruleum engines in need of repair. If I've fixed them up, your superiors would have no reason to suspect that I want to see you driven out. Less reason in any case. With the use of local technology would go a long way, I'd imagine. That said, I've not heard anything about the ceruleum engines we've scavenged breaking down. It's not as if they're entirely useless yet, but I guarantee they're not running as they should. Give me the opportunity and I can have them working more efficiently and safely. You're welcome to accompany me while I do so. That way, you can ensure that I don't get up to anything suspect and then vouch for me with your superiors. I have no objections. I trust you will sense anything amiss. Sure. Let us begin with the proper inspection then. We can get to work as soon as you're ready to go, Kyo. Let's go right now. The ultimate objective is to get the engines running at full capacity. The purpose of this inspection is to work out what parts we need. However, I would hate to fumble something and be accused of sabotage, so I'd appreciate if you could just be the one to lay hands on the devices. Never fear, I'll be right behind you telling you what to look for. We inspect, say, 3 of them, we should have a decent idea of what needs repair. The way. So what do these things look like? One. 2. The last one's going to be hidden somewhere. It's inside. Or it'll just be in another tent. There we go. It's inside. Praise be your deft hands. I have an idea of what next step ought to be, though perhaps it'd be best to apprise Rimino of her progress first. How are your engines? Alas, I fear that each of those we examine are guaranteed to break down sooner or later should you continue to use them in their current state. Surely you jest. I swear on my integrity as an engineer, you are in dire need of instruction in the proper operation of cerulean engines. You saw the little lamp light up when you touched the switch, correct? That only illuminates when there's an issue with the engine. So, you didn't check the engine light. They were switched off for want of fuel when the settlement was abandoned. No doubt, which prevented them burning out, only to let them freeze solid instead, ere your lot turned them on. From the state they're in, I can only assume they didn't occur to you to warm them up first. Notice you have heating technology of your own, but it will do no good should the engines to power them break. Now will it? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain from my assistance. I am a machinist from Frozen Climes myself, and what you say sounds plausible enough. Very well, on behalf of the camp, I formally ask you to repair the cerulean engines. I suppose that means I will be taking responsibility if anything goes wrong, so you may as well use your own 2 hands this time. The spirit I knew would come around. please. Okay, that's a little bit better. Done with those quests for now. I'll probably get the last one when we're to the end of this area. Right. Saigon. Akio, I was informed of Quintus's suicide. Must have come as great shock to his men. What of the refugees? I'm told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand account. So many did not hesitate to accept proofs of how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugee. Definitely notwithstanding, after all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We'll tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of their legatus, and following his suicide, they offered full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life, he had hoped to absolve them of culpability, or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and that falls to the rest of us to clean up the mess. Alright, Lucia has further news. I assume that you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as it happens. Now that we've procured ceruleum from Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much needed warmth. Furthermore, we've prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium shall find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. One for you, so go ahead and let's get some well-earned rest. I believe that we're capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. Anyway, might I ask you to seek out Y'shtola? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be taking a rest herself. See that she is. Okay. And there's another quest. Another blue quest here somewhere. This. Alright, the commissary officer has her hands full and is in need of extra pair. Oh well, now here's a sight that warms the heart. I never thought I'd have the honor to meet a hero of your pedigree, let alone beg of your aid. You see, we've got a shipment of supplies to send down to Tapper's Den, and having somebody who knows to lay the land by my side will go a long way to ensure of its safety delivery. I defend it myself, but I have to carry the bloody thing, and you'd be so kind to escort me. I assure you I'll make it worth your while. Well then, I'll be waiting outside the gates of the camp. Meet me when you're ready, but don't take too long. Monsters abound in these parts. Go complete this quest. Another one. Same thing. Oh, the objective. No, there is another quest. I'll leave that one for now. Go do this other one. Hey, there you are. I knew you'd have a heart to help a soul in need. Okay, so now, where are we going? What's this? It's not the objective. Oh, yeah, of course. I forgot they had little, things to say along the way. Some time yet before I've mapped out the entirety of the vast expanse, it stretches north as far as the eye can see, unhospitable to the hardiest of explorers. Wonder that the Guardians survived it all, let alone went on to form the Empire. Seeing the Magna Glacies with my own eyes, however, I've gained some understanding of their disposition. Okay. We are safe and sound. I couldn't have done it without you, friend. Now, all that's left is to deliver the goods. Let's enter those caves and get some shelter from these freezing winds. Well, the goods have been safely delivered, but I'm afraid one more task to beg of you. Of course, I'll do it myself if I could, but I'm afraid this calls for someone with skills that I lack. Not obligated to help me again, but seeing as you've done so already, here, maybe you wouldn't mind hearing me out. Please. Alright, so that's the quest for that, and we don't need to do that little side quest thing anymore. Don't worry about that one. Let's do this one. I've seen you before in Tertium, yes. I was part of the first group transferred here. But there's someone I'm trying to find, a small boy red hair. Have you seen him? So there's a boy with blue hair, and this camp has a boy with red hair. He's probably still refusing to budge. Oh, My apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Gala, 1st Legion. I've been doing what I can for the refugees, though I suppose I'm one myself. See, I've always tried to help those in need. Some call me a busybody, in fact. Before joining the military, I was a member of the Vigalis Urbani, and it was our duty to keep the citizenry safe. Old habits die hard, though, which is why I'm determined to look after that lad. He's been separated from his parents in the chaos, but he won't leave the station without them. Thing is, that's no place for a child of his age to be fending for himself. You've seen the conditions there. He needs food and warmth. We go back to the station to try and persuade him to join your camp. Could I trouble you in accompanying me? I'll do him good to see that you're not the monsters he probably thinks you are. Thank you. Well then, no time like the present. Yes, let's do it. So, we've got to go all the way back to the train station. Just be able to take this crystal. Point. Look like I can. Oh well, that's fine. Looks like we're taking the long way. I'll grab a chocobo. My prediction is correct, he should still be around here. His name's Volosis, but most know him better for his scarlet locks. Considering how reluctant he is to leave, I doubt he'd answer if we tried calling out for him. Would you mind helping me look? Yeah, there's a little red. Cool. Who are you? Lucis. I'm looking everywhere for you, still refusing to join everyone at the other camp. I see. Not going anywhere, not without Mum and Dad. Don't you see, it's for your own good. You know I came here with Julius, didn't you? Please, you've got to listen to me. Mum and Dad are alive, I know they are. No one's saying they aren't. Sorry to burden you, but I have a feeling he'll be more cooperative once he's got off his chest. Hear him out, will you? Alright. Help me find my parents. Mum's got red hair just like me, and my dad? Lucis, you have to understand, there's still little chance we'll find your parents, even if we went looking for them. You understand, that's why I'm here. They promised to meet me at the station. I know it's too dangerous for me outside, but you two can fight, can't you? So please don't give up on them like everyone else. Alright. Kicking and screaming. You won't like that. Worry that we're only giving him false hope, but very well. After all, the least we can do is try. Thanks to my time in Vigilis Urbani, I know the capital like the back of my hand. Between the two of us, we should be able to conduct a reasonably thorough search. Thank you so much, I can't wait to see them again. Not get ahead of ourselves. This is exactly what I was afraid of. To the task at hand then, given the present state of the capital, tracing his parents' steps will be no easy feat. Lucis, do you know anything that might help us in our search? Well, I was thinking about going back to my house, if it's still there. Where is that? Any landmarks nearby? The outskirts of town, to the south, between the tavern and the bookshop. When Dad always used to fly a huge imperial flag in front of the house, the only family that had one in our neighborhood. It'll be enough to go on. Alright, let's get going. So, it's to the south. Okay, cool, they've given us a marker. Buddy, how you going? Just wanting a little bit of attention. Coming over here, right? Feel better, huh? Alright, off you go, buddy. Hey. Right. Well, we're in the right area. Remember, he said it was between a tavern and a bookshop, and they had a large imperial flag in front of the house. You know, the moment you find anything might be useful, no matter how insignificant it may seem. Now let's start our search. Okay, cool. So at least we have to search for this. Tavern and a bookshop. That's going out of the area. Out from behind this. So much trouble to get caught between. Alright. There's the marker. Find a leaflet amidst the rubble, apparently from a bookshelf, The War of Islabad. Now in stock, don't miss a chance to own the masterpiece dedicated to the Emperor Solus's achievements. Searching elsewhere for clues, Volus's whereabouts, show anything. Yeah, cool, so there's that. So it's a bookshop, okay, so what's the bookshop? Was this the bookshop? Go. Find a letter amidst the rubble. Although much of it has been rendered illegible, you can make out the words, "You are cordially invited to the evening of food and drink at the Palladium Novom." Alright, so is there another one? Go. And a letter amongst the rubble. Dearest Volossus, I pray this message finds you well. No clue. Something have you? Let's have a look. Right, it's addressed to Volossus and from his parents no less. Said you found it nearby. It looks like someone tried to clear the way of rubble, but then thought better of it. The place is far too exposed. His parents must have come back to see if their boy had returned home and left him this letter. By the condition of the paper, it's safe to assume some time has passed since their visit. It's unlikely to bump into them with just waiting here. I'll write a reply just in case they return, but for now let's head back to the Volossus. Excellent work. Right, so... Wait. Downstairs. You find anything? Oh yes, we did. A letter addressed to you from your parents. In fact, this is sure to help in our search. I know it. See it? This is addressed to me, but isn't Mum or Dad's handwriting. Give up so easily, Volossus. He's here. Let me read it for you. I am injured, but am in. Do not worry about me for now. You must stay out of danger. Love, Visbania. Fortunately, it looks like the part detailing location got wet at some stage and is completely illegible. Sania, that's Mum's name. So it is from her after all. There's a good chance that she's still alive. I knew it. One step closer to finding her. In all honesty, I'm amazed we found anything. Thank you for convincing me that the search was worthwhile. It's clear as day to me why your comrades have nothing but praise for you. With you on the case, we'll find his mother in no time. Alright, so it looks like that's just going to be a bunch of searching or something. To do that anymore though. Sure, that's it really for those side quests around here. do this short little bit of dialogue with Yustola, and then I'll call it stream. Yes, I've been taking proper breaks and imbibing around sufficient water. What of the way of light, you and the twins have established history of reckless disregard of your own well-being. We're all fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. We've already quite enough to deal with between the tempered and the ists wounded. Last, though I can mend their bodies, the toll their experiences have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver, but nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day one, and in so doing invite disaster. Okay, several cutscenes. Well, that's definitely a place to end the stream, because I can't continue on that for now, so... Right, so tune in again for a little bit more. It may be the next part of the story. It's cutscenes. There's some events that happen within the cutscenes probably, but for the story section, I'll probably pass that before moving on. That we just don't get stuck in a bunch of cutscenes on stream, so... Alright, well, with that, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.